What's the reaction been on the ground, Miranda, to this quite huge news out of Washington?
Look, it's been mixed. I mean, for the most part, Americans wish the president the best, but there has been a really nasty, mainly confined to social media, backlash against the president. A woman who had once been the principal spokeswoman for Hillary Clinton in the 2016 campaign, also previously had worked for President Obama, said she hoped he died. So, that's the tenor of social media, which is a sewer at the best of times. But I have a good update for you from Rudy Giuliani, who, former New York mayor. He's one of the president's best friends, has known him for 30 years. He's also his personal lawyer. I spoke to him about an hour ago, and he just got off the phone from the president. So, if you like, I can bring you what the president has said.
Yes, please.
He said to Rudy Giuliani said, judging by the way he was speaking, it was vintage Donald Trump. And the president gave Giuliani this statement. He said, you can go and tell people I'm watching this coverage, which is basically saying that he's taken a turn for the worse. He said, I feel I could get out of here right now, but they're telling me there can always be a backstep with this disease. I feel I could go out and do a rally. I am the president of the United States. I can't lock myself in a room. He's talking here about the criticism that he caught COVID. Nancy Pelosi, the Democrat Speaker of the House yesterday, pretty much said that he brought it on himself because he doesn't wear a mask, etc. Not that she wore a mask when she had an illegal hairdressing appointment in San Francisco. Anyway, so Donald Trump says, I had to confront the virus so the American people stopped being afraid of it so we could deal with it responsibly. I knew there was a risk that I could catch it, but if I couldn't accept that risk, I should resign. I couldn't hide in the White House. Imagine if I had hidden in the White House. Then he said, we have made tremendous progress on treating this disease. Fatality rates are very low compared to the beginning. I'm going to beat this. Then I will be able to show people we can deal with this disease responsibly, but we shouldn't be afraid of it.
Interesting. Yep. So he's already planning, the campaigning post the COVID diagnosis, Miranda. But I wonder, because you did touch on that, he said, he loves the rallies. That's his comfort zone, to be out there in those crowds. What does it mean now in terms of, at least in the short term, not being able to get out there and rallying ahead of November 3?
Well, it certainly will be frustrating to him because he is, for a man who's 74, he has enormous stamina and resilience. I went to his last rally, whether or not it's the last rally of this campaign, who knows, but that was in Pennsylvania, a place called Middletown, at an airport last Saturday night. And he had just come from the Rose Garden at the White House, where there was that ceremony which has now been called a super spreader ceremony, to announce the nomination of Judge Amy Coney Barrett for the Supreme Court to take over that Ruth Bader Ginsburg slot. So he'd flown on a helicopter and then on an aeroplane straight to Pennsylvania, came and gave this 2-hour rally. It was raining. It wasn't heavy rain, but it was steady rain. He was standing up there, his suit was wet, and he was full of energy. The crowd, there were probably 15,000 people there, not many wearing masks, probably I would say a third of the people were wearing masks, but they were incredibly, supportive, calling out, we love you, we love you. The campaign put out a statement afterwards saying that only 60% of the people in that crowd, and this is common for all his rallies, are Republicans. The rest are Democrats and independents. And Pennsylvania, of course, being a crucial swing state, probably, if the candidate does not win Pennsylvania this time around, they probably won't win the election. I drove across it last week and spoke to lots of people, and there's certainly a huge amount of enthusiasm for the president. There's not so much enthusiasm for Joe Biden, and you can see that objectively in voter registrations, which are running at about 2-1 Republican to Democrat at the moment in a lot of swing states. Pennsylvania is one, but Florida is another one.
Miranda, before you go, you touched on the nomination of Amy Coney Barrett. What are the implications of some of the diagnosis that we're seeing here? Because some of the senators have been diagnosed with COVID over the last 48 hours. Could that see the confirmation delayed?
Well, I mean, that's what the Democrats want, and they're spreading that story that it needs to be delayed. Mitch McConnell, who's the leader of the Senate, Republican, says absolutely no way, it's full steam ahead. I mean, there's lots of ways they can do it. They can do it, remotely for those senators who are unwell. They've done that before. The Democrats are masters of social distancing, wearing enormous masks, doing everything remotely. It's ridiculous that they're now saying that's impossible. But of course, they don't want Amy Coney Barrett to be confirmed. They know that the Republicans have got the majority in the Senate, that she will be confirmed. They're trying to put it off until after the election. They will play any trick they can to stop it happening. So let's just see. I mean, as you said, two of the senators who are on the Judiciary Committee, Republicans, have got COVID, but for the most part, the treatments now are so good that it's not a death sentence. It doesn't, unless there's something wrong with you, you're morbidly obese, or you have some comorbidities, or you're very old. It's pretty much just a bad flu.